What happens when a British Nigerian heiress, raised in luxury and expectations, falls in love with a Lagos beach photographer fighting to keep his family alive? What happens when her heart chooses a man her elite parents call beneath her, a man with nothing but talent, dignity, and dreams? What happens when love collides with class, culture, and a corporate marriage arranged to protect an empire? And what happens when she must choose between the world she was born into and the world where she finally feels alive? Stay tuned. This love story is only just beginning. The private jet descended through a layer of soft golden haze as Lagos spread out beneath it, chaotic, vibrant, and unmistakably alive. From the window, Amelia Adebayo pressed her palm against the glass, watching the coastline shimmer like a copper bracelet in the sun. She hadn't been home in almost 2 years. Britain had shaped her accent. Lagos had shaped her soul. As the aircraft glided onto the runway at Murtala Muhammad Airport, she felt something she hadn't felt in months. Excitement and dread mixing in equal measure. Her driver was already waiting. The moment she stepped out, the humidity wrapped around her like a warm embrace. Street vendors moved quickly outside the airport fence, taxis honked, passengers shouted into their phones. "Welcome back, Auntie." The driver beamed. "Definitely Lagos." Inside the tinted SUV, she sank into the buttery leather seats, but her chest remained tight. There were reasons she returned, and reasons she had stayed away. When they reached Ikoyi, her parents' penthouse towered above the skyline like a modern palace. The building itself screamed wealth, clean glass, sculpted white concrete, and a lobby filled with black granite and gold accents. But nothing prepared her for the interior. The elevator opened into the living room, and she stepped into a display of stunning Nigerian modern interior design. Soft cream marble floors that reflected the sunlight. A suspended LED chandelier shaped like woven osso oak. A massive Yoruba-inspired abstract painting exploding in red, gold, and black. Floor-to-ceiling windows with a view of the lagoon. A custom-made teak console table carved by an artisan from Osogbo. Everything was breathtaking. But Amelia felt like a visitor in a museum. Her mother, Chief Mrs. Ronk Adebayo, appeared at the foot of the floating staircase, dressed in a perfectly tailored wine-colored lace. Behind her, perfumed air and expectations followed. "You're finally here," her mother said, arms open but eyes scanning Amelia from head to toe. "You've lost weight. London stress?" "Something like that," Amelia whispered. Her father emerged from the study, tall, graying, authoritative. "Good. You came just in time," he said, leading her toward a dining table set with fine china and royal blue runners. "We're having dinner with the Johnsons next week, formally. I want you prepared." She blinked. "Dinner for what?" Her mother's smile sharpened. "For your engagement, darling. Tay Johnson. The match we discussed. 2 families. 2 companies. 1 powerful bond." Amelia froze. Her fork clattered against the plate. "Engagement?" she asked slowly. "I thought that was just a suggestion." Her mother laughed. "My dear, suggestions from family are expectations." Her father added, "You're 26 now. It's time to settle down, with someone appropriate." "Appropriate," Amelia repeated, almost tasting bitterness. She wanted to scream. Wanted to escape. Wanted to ask why her future had been decided without her voice. Instead, she excused herself and wandered to the balcony, where Lagos breeze brushed her face. Cars honked far below. Palm trees swayed. The lagoon sparkled like a mischievous secret. She whispered to herself, "I don't belong here anymore. But where do I belong?" A question with no answer. Until the next morning. Jet-lagged and restless, she slipped out of the apartment before dawn, wearing a simple white tank top, baggy linen trousers, and sunglasses. She needed to breathe outside her parents' perfection. She told the driver to stop at Elagushi Beach, but she walked the final stretch alone. The ocean roared. Vendors shouted. Music played. Children ran barefoot through the wet sand. The real Lagos. Her Lagos. She removed her sandals and stepped into the warm waves, smiling for the first time since she arrived. Then she saw a young man crouched near the shoreline, camera in hand. His focus was absolute. His fingers moved like they were born holding a lens. The rising sun set his silhouette on fire. He stood, turned, and caught sight of her. His gaze lingered. Curious. Calm. Unafraid. Then he smiled. A slow, warm Yoruba smile that stole her breath. "Good morning," he said, voice smooth and rich like fresh palm wine. "The way you're standing. It looks like the ocean just told you a secret." She blinked. Maybe it did. He lifted his camera slightly. "Would you like me to capture this moment before the secret disappears?" She laughed. A soft, surprised sound. For the first time since landing, she felt alive. She didn't know his name yet. She didn't know his story. Or how deeply their worlds would clash. All she knew was one thing. This sunrise felt like the beginning of something she wasn't ready for, but desperately needed. The morning sun slowly rose higher, scattering copper and gold across the waves. Amelia tucked a strand of hair behind her ear as the beach photographer, whose name she still didn't know, lifted his camera again. He paused. "May I?" His voice was gentle, respectful, like he was asking permission to enter her world. She nodded. He moved closer, careful not to intrude. His camera clicked softly as he captured her silhouette against the sunrise. With each flash of the shutter, she felt something unfurl inside her. Something she hadn't felt in a long time. See, not judged, not assessed, not evaluated for marriage eligibility. Just see. When he finished, he lowered the camera, breath slightly unsteady. "You have a face that tells stories," he murmured. She tried not to blush. "Says the man who captures everyone else's." He smiled, wide, warm, and real. "Amiyamide," he said, offering his hand. "Amelia." The moment their palms touched, a small spark ran through her. She pulled back quickly, pretending she hadn't felt it. "You're not from around here," he said, studying her quietly. "I grew up between Lagos and London," she replied. "Mostly London now." He nodded as if reading the parts she didn't say. The loneliness, the pressure, the expectations tied to her last name. "Your parents are wealthy people?" he asked gently, not to pry but because her aura didn't fit the beach crowd. "Yes," she admitted. "Very." Mayamide's smile stayed, but his eyes shifted. Not in intimidation, just understanding. "Well, out here nobody cares. Sand equalizes everybody." That made her laugh. "Is that your philosophy?" "It's how I survive." Something in his tone changed. He glanced at the ocean, his jaw tightening slightly. "You survive?" she asked softly. Mayamide shrugged. "Life isn't always soft. But you make do. You work hard. You take care of those who depend on you." She felt her heart tighten. "Your family?" He hesitated. "My younger siblings. 3 of them. The only one bringing money home right now." Her breath left her in a slow, aching sigh. He wasn't saying it to impress her. He wasn't ashamed either. It was just the truth. A truth she had never tasted, responsibility born of hardship. A vendor walked by selling cold drinks. Mayamide bought 2 sachet waters and handed her one without ceremony. She laughed. She hadn't drank pure water from a sachet in 10 years. But she opened it anyway. He grinned. "Your mother will scream if she sees you like this." "My mother screams even when I breathe," Amelia joked. Mayamide laughed, deep, heartfelt. It made something inside her loosen. They walked along the beach talking. About his dream to own a photography studio someday. About how he learned photography from YouTube and borrowed cameras until he saved enough to buy one. About how he wakes up at 5 a.m. to catch the best light and the best customers. About her life in London. Her art exhibitions. Her loneliness. Her mother's obsession with elite alliances. Her father's plans for her. Her lack of plans for herself. When she mentioned the arranged dinner with the Johnson family, Mayamide slowed. "Are you ready for that kind of life?" he asked softly. She shook her head. "I don't want it. I don't want to be married to someone I barely know, just because it's good for business." Mayamide's gaze lingered on her, longer than before. "And what do you want?" The question stunned her. Nobody had asked her that in years. "I don't know," she whispered. He nodded, accepting her honesty. A moment passed. Wind blew softly between them. The ocean roared as if responding. Mayamide finally said, "Well, maybe Lagos will help you remember." That simple line did something to her. Opened a window. Let light inside. They spent the next hour walking, laughing, talking like they had known each other longer than a morning. Finally, when the sun grew hot, Mayamide lowered his camera and said, "Let me show you your photos." He scrolled through the shots, each one more breathtaking than the last. Amelia hardly recognized herself. She didn't look like the polished, flawless socialite her mother curated. She looked raw, soft, alive, human. Mayamide, she breathed, "These are beautiful." He tilted his head. "That's because you were finally breathing." Their eyes locked. Heat rushed through her. Something dangerous. Something real. She quickly cleared her throat. "Do you have an Instagram page or something? I'd like to send these to myself." He touched the back of his neck shyly. I do. But my phone is not the latest." She smiled. "It doesn't matter." He handed her his slightly cracked Android phone. She typed her contact. When she returned it, their fingers brushed again. And they both felt it. A spark. A warning. A beginning. As she turned to leave, Iamide called after her. Amelia? She paused. I don't know your world, he said. But I hope. You come back tomorrow. She shouldn't. She knew she shouldn't. But she smiled. I will. And she walked away, heart thudding, sandals in hand, waves touching her feet, knowing that for the first time in a long time, she was walking towards something that was hers. The next morning, Amelia woke earlier than she had planned. Her dreams were full of waves and sunlight, and a boy with a camera whose eyes held more sincerity than anyone she had ever known in her elite world. She sat up in the massive four-poster bed, the Nigerian modern decor surrounding her in elegant silence. Warm walnut wood cream drapes, gold-accented side lamps, and a hand-painted Yoruba motif spanning the wall. Everything was perfect. Everything was wrong. She slipped into simple clothes and sneaked out again, ignoring her mother's voice echoing faintly from the ground floor. Amelia, remember the fittings for your engagement dinner? She shut the door quietly behind her. The driver wasn't around yet and she didn't wait. Amelia walked down the street, flagged a cab, and insisted the driver go straight to Elagushi Beach. Her heart was pounding so fast she barely noticed the potholes. Iamide was already there. Of course he was. He stood barefoot in the sand, camera hanging around his neck, shooting the horizon like he was capturing secrets only he could see. When he turned and saw her, his whole face lit up, not with flirtation, not with charm, but with genuine surprise that warmed her chest. You came, he said simply. I said I would. Their eyes held, and something gentle and unspoken passed between them. He walked toward her, stopping just close enough for her to feel the heat of his skin. Are you okay? He asked quietly. No, she whispered. But I'm here. Iamide nodded. Then today will be a good day. They bought Puff Puff from a vendor and sat on a wooden bench facing the waves. Oil stained the corner of Amelia's napkin, but she didn't care. You're eating that? Iamide teased. Elite girl like you? She rolled her eyes. My mother would faint if she saw me. Iamide grinned mischievously. Then I should take a picture. You wouldn't dare. He raised the camera. I definitely would. She laughed so hard she nearly choked. Around them, Lagos moved in its usual rhythm. Vendors calling out prices, horses trotting on the sand, couples posing for photos. But Amelia's world narrowed to one person. Iamide. The way he spoke with his hands. The way his eyes softened when he talked about his siblings. The way he listened, really listened, to every word she said. She felt something she had never felt. Safe. Visible. Unfiltered. Human. Around noon, Iamide slung his camera strap over his shoulder. I want to show you something, he said softly. What is it? He hesitated. My life. If you want to see it. She smiled. I do. They took a kiki to Surulere, bumping along busy streets filled with loud generators, kids playing football, and women selling vegetables under sun umbrellas. When they reached his street, Iamide looked nervous. Please don't expect anything fancy, he murmured. She touched his arm. Iamide. I didn't come to see fancy. His tension eased. Inside, his small two-bedroom apartment was clean, warm, and full of soul. Light gray walls with DIY wooden shelves. A bright Ankara pattern throw pillow. A round woven rug from a local market. A small console table holding his camera gear. A low dining set built by him using cheap plywood but polished beautifully. His life wasn't extravagant, but it was intentional. It was honest. It was lived. She admired every corner. You did all this? She asked. He nodded. When you grow up with little, you learn to make beauty from scraps. Her throat tightened. This world, humble, imperfect, warm, felt more like home than her own mansion. A sudden rush of tiny feet echoed through the corridor. Ao, Ao, Ani is here. 3 children, 2 girls and a boy, ran in and clung to him. Their laughter was loud, their clothes worn but neat. Amelia's heart melted instantly. Ao, she's fine. The youngest girl shouted. She's so pretty. Iamide groaned. Sharon, behave. But Amelia crouched and smiled. Thank you. What's your name? Sharon Ao Jr., the girl declared proudly. I'm 5. And I'm Dara. The elder girl added. I'm 8. The boy stood shyly. My name is Samuel. I'm 12. Amelia talked with them, helped Sharon braid her doll's hair, and listened as Dara showed her school drawings taped to the wall. Samuel asked if she had seen snow before. Iamide stood in the doorway, arms crossed, quietly watching. The softness on his face was unmistakable. He was used to carrying this family alone. Until today. A moment that changed everything. Later, when the kids went outside to play, Amelia wandered into Iamide's tiny kitchen. The countertop was cracked, the cabinets uneven, but everything was neatly arranged. He leaned against the doorway. "Sorry it's not your world," he said softly. She turned to him slowly. "Iamide," she whispered, "this feels more real than anything in my world." He swallowed hard. Their eyes locked. And in that small kitchen, filled with the scent of palm oil and the echoes of children's laughter, something shifted. Something undeniable. Something dangerous. He stepped closer. "Amelia, we come from different universes. I know. My life is hard. Yours is planned. I know. If your parents find out, they can't control who my heart chooses." Iamide's breath caught. Then he whispered, "And who has your heart choosing?" Her voice trembled. "You." Silence. Breath. He. All in one suspended moment. Iamide looked away, fighting something inside him. When he finally met her eyes again, he whispered, "Then God help both of us." As she left later that evening, her phone buzzed. Her mother. "Call me now. Your behavior is unacceptable. Tade's mother is expecting you tomorrow. Do not embarrass this family." Amelia stared at the message, pulse pounding. She looked up at Iamide, standing in the doorway of his modest home. Wind tugged at his shirt, and the sunset painted him gold. His world. Her world. Two hearts caught in between. And for the first time, Amelia understood. This wasn't just a friendship. Wasn't just a crush. This was the beginning of a war she never asked for, but one she was willing to fight. The Adeyemi mansion in Ikoyi glowed like a palace that evening. Tall glass walls reflected the golden lights of the crystal chandeliers. Sculpted palm trees lined the marble driveway. Inside, guests in designer outfits mingled around a dining room decorated with modern Nigerian luxury, cream walls with bronze trim, iomask wall art, geometric pattern rugs, and a 12-seater dining table carved from polished Irako wood. This was the world Amelia was expected to belong to. Not the world she had left behind an hour ago. Not Iamide's world. Her heart thudded painfully as she stepped into the mansion. The Johnson family was already seated when she arrived. Tade Johnson stood immediately when he saw her. Tall, polished, dressed in a tailored black kaftan. He was handsome, too handsome in a calculated corporate way. "Amelia," he greeted with a warm but rehearsed smile. "I've been looking forward to seeing you again." Her mother smiled proudly. Her father raised a glass like he was approving an asset. Amelia forced a polite smile. She wanted to disappear. Dinner began. Tate talked about stocks, oil pipelines, foreign contractors, and government approvals. Amelia nodded at all the right times. She pushed roasted plantain around her plate. Her mother's friends whispered, "She's so lucky. Tate is a future billionaire. Her London education will match his pedigree perfectly. She has no reason to refuse him." Each whisper stabbed her, especially because of who she did want. Towards dessert, her father cleared his throat. Everyone turned. He lifted his wine glass. Her mother took Amelia's hand under the table. Tade's lips curved like he already knew what was coming. "Tonight," her father began, "marks the beginning of a new partnership between two great families." Amelia felt the world tilt. "No, not like this," her father continued. "The Adeyemi and Johnson empires have agreed to merge, both corporately and—" "Daddy, stop," Amelia whispered, panic constricting her chest. He ignored her. "And personally, we are proud to announce that our daughter, Amelia Adeyemi, will be engaged to Tate Johnson." "Dad," she burst out, louder this time. Gasps rippled across the table. Her mother's grip tightened painfully. Tate looked embarrassed for the first time all evening. "I haven't agreed to anything," Amelia said, trembling. "We already agreed on your behalf," her father replied sharply. "This marriage benefits our family, our shareholders, and your future." "My future is mine." Her mother hissed, "Lower your voice." "No." Amelia stood from the table. "You want to decide my life without asking me? You haven't asked if I even like him." "Love comes later," her father snapped. "Stability comes first. I'm not marrying a company." Her voice cracked. The entire room froze. "You will marry Tate," her father said coldly, "or you will be cut off. No inheritance. No properties. No access to the trust fund. Nothing." Her entire body went numb. Her mother looked away. Tate looked uncomfortable. Her father looked like a general delivering a command. And Amelia felt her soul breaking. She ran out of the dining room, heels clacking violently against the marble floor. "Amy, Amelia," her mother called. But she didn't stop. She burst into the hallway, tears blurring her vision. She was halfway up the stairs when she saw him. The family media assistant, Daniel, standing with her phone in his hand. Her heart stopped. "What are you doing with my phone?" she demanded. Daniel swallowed hard. "Madam, please don't be upset. Your mother asked me to check why your phone has been off all evening." He turned the screen toward her. A photo was open. A photo of her and Iamide. At the beach. At sunset. Her laughing, barefoot, eyes shining. Iamide standing close beside her, hand almost touching hers. It was the most beautiful moment of her life. And the most dangerous. Daniel whispered. It was uploaded by someone on Instagram. It's already trending. Her blood turned to ice. "How many people have seen this?" she whispered. Daniel hesitated. That alone was her answer. Her mother's voice echoed from downstairs. "Daniel, bring that phone here." Amelia panicked, grabbed the phone from him and ran to her room, slamming the door shut. Her mind spun violently. The photo was trending. The media got it. If her father saw it, they would destroy Iamide. And she knew it. Hands shaking, she called him. He answered instantly. "Amy? Are you okay?" She choked. "Al, someone took a picture of us. It's online. People are reposting it. My parents, my father." "Slow down," he said gently. "What's happening?" "They're announcing an engagement I never agreed to. They're threatening to cut me off. And if they find you?" "Amelia." His voice hardened for the first time ever. "Do not cry because of me. I can handle myself. You don't understand." She sobbed. "This family, they don't fight fair. They can bury people, careers, businesses. They can destroy you." Silence. A heavy, painful silence. Then he said softly, "I'm not afraid of your family." "But I am," she whispered. Another silence. When he finally spoke, his voice was low with truth. "Amelia, if my presence is putting you in danger, if they want to hurt me to control you, tell me what you want me to do." Her heart shattered. "I don't want to lose you," she cried. "You want," he whispered. "Not unless you walk away. And if you think that was intense, the real storm is just ahead. A forbidden love. A family empire on the brink. Two worlds about to collide in ways no one is prepared for. You don't want to miss what comes next. Hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Because the next part of the story will test loyalty,